Okay. Okay. So we are in chapter 3, Karma Yoga. So let us start into the from shloka number 4, verse number 14 or shloka number 14 for the same eco cycle of the creation and in which we perform the Karma Yoga, which Bhagavan has started from last class, right from Yajnartat Karmanon Yatra, and then from the creation, and in creation how we were part and parcel of everything in the cycle, and that how this kind of a mutual duties is actually a mutual duties that one facilitates the other, and that's how the whole world is sustained. And that if this chain is broken, that is where the calamities and everything happens, but that can never be easily be attributed. Somewhere the chain is broken, and that's what Krishna is saying. And it is up to one's own individual identity to kind of ascertain and go forward with it, because the Karma Yoga is, as we say in these chapters and go forth, is for a particular individual, but together we make it happen. And the Karma Yoga, as Krishna says, is from creation, right from Surya Bhagavan to Varuna Bhagavan, that is rain god, to all the gods who were the seasonal gods, the directional gods, Dik Devatas, so many of them. And we are also, Krishna is giving us also every equal participation in that. That is why he said, look, you are also as an important, just not consume it, but you subscribe to it and you contribute to this. So what Krishna said from the last ones is consumption and contribution are hand in hand. Everything, and especially as human beings only, we can do Karma Yoga. An animal or a worm or a plant, it cannot do. They are a lower level of creation. So there are different levels of creation. The lower level of creation than human beings, they cannot perform Karma Yoga because they have got a destined duty by which they will just give the fruit if watered, and that's it. That's about it. They know if they don't give water, maybe they will just perish, and they don't even know to ask. And then probably the animals will know to ask, but they also cannot do a free will of their own. They are led by intuition. And we have got the discrimination. That is why Krishna wants to give that one, especially for human beings. And the higher beings, the gods, they will do the Karma Yoga, and they've got everything in their control. And whether one contributes or not, they do it. That's why they are higher level of being, all of them. But for human beings who can attain the moksha by doing Karma Yoga is where Bhagavan is coming. So Damayanti ji, can you repeat after me from verse number 14? We'll go. So let's see into the, I'm asking you to unmute. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Okay. Annat bhavanti bhutani.
अन्नार्भवन्ति भूतानि अन्नार्भवन्ति भूतानि
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
पर्जन्यादन्यसम्भवः पर्जन्यादन्यसम्भवः
Yajnat bhavanti parjanyah.
यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः
Yajnah karma samudbhavah.
यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः.
Very good. One more, because it's together. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवं ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवं
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
Nityam yajne pratishthitam.
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितं Nityam yagne pratishtitam.
Okay, so we will go through these two verses in cyclic order, and these two verses are going with a progression of cause and effect. Okay, karana karyam. So the karyam comes first and then the karanam. That is how we are going to see this whole chain. And after that, I've sent you an attachment through which we will see it through that cycle as well. So it makes a kind of a pictorial representation of this whole cycle of cause and effect. Okay, so as the karma yogis, as we are to start, so Krishna wants to start with that of us to understand in that how all these living beings in this world are. So he says here, Bhutani Annat Bhavanti. So Bhutani here means all the living beings in this world. So the statement is very simple. All these living beings, annad, by food only, they come into being. So what he is saying, this statement also means, so what is the cause and the effect? The effect is the living beings and the cause is annam. So what we then understand is, really the food is our forefather. We must take it something like that. Our food is our forefather. Without food, we are not there. No living being is there. Now, this I will also explain to you a little bit more from Taittiriya Upanishad. Taittiriya Upanishad also, that is why if you see in the Pancha Kosha, it goes from Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, even from an individual perspective. So that Annamaya Kosha itself, if you see, because the statement here is the living being is born out of food, sustained by food, and merges, becomes a food. So you originate from food, you sustain by food. This is the gross body, not the jivatma. The gross body, which is the vehicle, that is what it is said here. Bhutan even it meant. Okay. So what that Taittiriya Upanishad said, I'll just quickly read and then I will tell you why. Annat vai prajayante. So that's what said. Annat vai prajaha prajayante. From annam only everything is born. Yah kascha prathavi gashruta. Ato anne naiva jivanti. Though with the anna only they also are sustaining. Atainat dapiyantya tataha. Annagum hi bhutanam jeshtam. See, jeshta, meaning to say all bhutanam, of all the bhutam, because I'm going quickly so we understand. So for all the bhutas, for these living beings, annagam annam hi jeshtam, meaning it is like your elder brother or who is the eldest. So annam is our forefather, something like that. Jeshtam tasmaat sarvaushadamuchyate. So what we say really is everything we eat is called a medicine. Aushadam means medicine. So the scriptures say that is why they say annam is this means a food, not just rice. Annam means anything that we eat and consume. That vegetable is also annam, for that matter. Banana is also annam. So all these things is aushadam. They are medicinal because that is what it is our thing. So aushadam uchyate sarvam vai te namapnuvanti. Apnuvanti, they also enter into that. Nam brahmopasate. So he says that annam, you upas, how do you treat it like a Brahma? That's what I wanted to come. Because that's what Krishna will come and say in the everything. That we see in that annam, Bhagavan. Once I see that Bhagavan, Paramatma in that annam, then I also attain that even in my gross body, gross level. That is why we think of that Paramatma and then we eat our first grasp of food. Because that annam itself is in the Paramatma Rupam and that is what I also consume. So that's my what says, Ye annam brahmopasate annagum hi bhutanam jeshtam tasmaat sarvaushadam uchyate. Then it says, Anna, again it repeats, Annaat bhutani jayante jathan yannena vardante. They grow by annam, vardante. Adyate cha bhutani tasmadannam taduchyata iti. Tasmatva etasmadannam rasamayat. So all this gross body is anna rasamayam. That's all I wanted to say. all these Ranavagam. And then the Upanishad then takes it through prana and everything, but I will stop it at that. But you get the essence that this particular portion of Gita is taken from that Taittiriya Upanishad. So Krishna is saying that. So cause and effect we have seen. The next one, because we need to keep progressing there. This for 4, 5, and 6. Just the 4 and 5. Parjanyat Anna Sambhavaha. That number 5 is Anna Sambhavaha is one compound word. Anna Sambhavaha means that existence of that Annam. Who is the cause? Parjanya. Parjanya means the rain. I will come and tell you why rain. Okay, because we are all great agriculturists. We know we not only need rain. Okay, let me say this one. So the scripture says the cause of the food is rain. It did not say Vayu, it did not say Agni, it did not say Prithvi, because we thought you can say, without Prithvi, how can I grow anything? Right? So there is a purport or there is a hidden meaning that we should understand. Because here the chain is the living being, a jivatma, a jivan. Jivan ko, that functions like, that worm, it leads all the things that you may not eat, but it sustains. So, but all of them, this one, how does it come? Why rain has said? So he says, rain is the forefather of Annam, of the food, every food. Why it is said is, this is for the birth of a being. So let us take our own karma yogi as a person we are. How the scriptures say, and this goes in Chandogya Upanishad, and that's why this Bhagavad Gita is taken from so many Upanishads. Upanishad Sara means it is not. Krishna has squeezed so much and given. So where Chandogya Upanishad, how it said a person is born. Okay, and a person is say died. Now from the top, let's say from the skies and from up there, a person has to be born. Okay, so say Babu has to be born somewhere. So what that before it can, father is the biological place. We are not talking in the gross level, not in the subtle level. Subtle level is all, Jivatmas transcend birth and death and birth and death. But in the gross, one body, that one body of that one person. What happens in a decision is made up there. Okay, is come this place, he has to take this karma for his samskara, for his duties and that. So the duty, everything is decided up there. Now he has to be dropped. He doesn't come from the window. So what happens is he is dropped through the rain. Not through air, not through Vayu, not through Prithvi, not through Agni. So before it can transform to a gross level as a semen in a father's thing, that Karanam, he is somehow dropped into that water. Imagine that water has to somehow, that is targeted for somebody to be consumed, has to somehow travel as a rain, maybe go in a dam, or maybe go in the earth and then go into some well and remain, and that water maybe need to be pumped, because a crop is going to be cultivated from different modes of water source. It could be directly from rain, or that could come from a well, or that could come from a dam through pipe. And even today, because it's happening, means whatever technology we change, God can somehow send that person through the pipeline. So that person now somehow has to come and grow in that paddy field or some kind of a field where it can be consumed, or in a fruit or somewhere. And that targeted fruit or that one paddy or in that rice or a wheat somehow then has to go into some shop. And these days the logistic is even more heavy. Those days they would just harvest it, put in a sack and come home. It was easy. Now imagine Krishna, whatever we do, this infrastructure logistics, he can still manipulate and put it through that. So somehow it is packed. And from India, then it comes here. Maybe you go buy that is, devolved rice or something, or whatever it is. You could even, it can take through all that journey. And that person, from that so many bags, it is that there'll be in one bag only in that somewhere that rice. And you have to go pick up that right bag from the Udaya or some other grocery shop. Imagine that from that it has to come. Then you have to then cook it, and that person has to eat it, and then he will be born. And if you miss that one, again the cycle has to start. So imagine the amount of efforts that is remaining for a logistics of that person to get into the body of that person, male, and to that saying that it will be, and then we know the production is, even though there is so much of semen, that one particular sperm, that when it is also in the proper soil, then only that even is going to happen. But how much amount of permutation combination that he will be able to kind of direct, and at a time 150,000 people are being born, he's directing all of them somehow. They don't miss the target. They don't go into the neighbor's basket and the neighbor does not, he doesn't. In that right place only he is somehow born. That is why Krishna is saying Parjanya Dhanna Sambhavaha. Because it is through the rain that the first one he traverses from the sky, and that water somehow that is gone into some water field, and that it has gone into some field as a food in whatever form, and then that fellow has to come into that father and then harvested in that mother as the earth, that is the one for him, and in the right source of combination, and she also consuming that food, and that is how a person is born. And similarly is though for the, even for a dog, somewhere you have to go breed, that it comes so live luxuriously in your house, whatever, every being. So then uska karma jugna padta hai. Okay, so to do that karma, parjanya dhanna sambhavaha, that he says that's so the cause, again the second cause and cycle is for the food, the forefather is rain. It is not anything else. Because of the cycle, because the target is a jivan. And the jivan traverses through, that is why. That's why it is not Prithvi or anything. Then afterwards, 6. Parjanyaha yajnat bhavati. All Panchama Vibhakti, what people who know Sanskrit. Okay. Parjanyaha yajnat bhavati. So the Parjanya, the rain, how the rain comes only by the yajna. Here yajna means you should not take that one sloka we said 9 yajnam by Vishnu. That not the yajna. So in Gita, the every word it will change meaning according to the context. Here yajna means a righteous deed. A righteous deed is done by that person. So here a person's one is that parents have done the righteous deed for that particular child to be born. Okay, so what happens is God has said, okay, now traverse through the rain and to be born in this particular parents. However, they have to be born. If it is something else out of the egg, somehow it has to go there. But that is also doing some kind of a yajna, that austerities have been done in that place, and that is how that particular being is going to come through the rain to be directed in this logical manner. So here yajna means a proper austerical deed. A proper deed has been, yajna is being done. And here it is also said that, for example, especially for a human being, because it's a karma yogi in a human being, a sankalpa has been made. Both that husband and wife have said, yes, let us have a children. And the sankalpa is made out of whatever the means it is. Then only the traversing ham. So the sankalpa has to be done and the action has to be performed. And that is what is a yajnam. Okay, so yeah, yajna, only if that happens, then the travel start from the rain, from the start. Okay, yajnat bhavati parjanyaha. And this yajnaha, for who is the cause for that? Karma samudbhavaha. Here karma, when we take, you should take it as the duties that are stipulated. A dutiful action. Karma samudbhavaha yajnaha. Meaning to say, here the yajna, when we say that particular one, where it is stipulated means it is stipulated in the, as per what is said from the Vedas. Vedas will come later, Brahma. But before that, it's as a proper sankalpa with a proper one that it has been dedicated, karma samudbhavaha. Here karma is just not simple action, a dutiful action. Okay, so yajna, you can take it as a sankalpa with an intention, but the intention is intention, but the intention is not enough, but the intentions are from the stipulated karma. So, and the karma samudbhavaha, that stipulated action, and those ones, where it is it coming from? Karma, Brahmodbhavam. Karma, Brahmodbhavam. Karma is coming from the Brahma. In this one, the 12 Brahma means Veda. Meaning to say, these particular, because in the Veda it is said, you go make lot of children, you go make lot of dhanyam, and thus you shall progenate. Every religion says when God created. So that Brahmodbhavam, this Brahma means Vedas. So the rightful action where it is said is in the cause for that is Veda. Okay, and Karma Brahmodbhavam with Karma number 12, Karma Brahmodbhavam. And where does this Brahma, the Veda, here Brahma means, don't think of Chaturmukha Brahma or the absolute Brahman. Here Brahma means Veda, that's all. And the Brahma, this Brahman, where it is going from Akshara Samudbhavam. Here Akshara means Aksharam Brahman, that absolute Brahman. So means Paramatma. So Paramatma is the one who is the originator of these Vedas. Now, in this one, that's what we should understand. What do we call Vedas as? As the breath of Ishvara. Is Swasa. As the Bhagavan breathed, the Vedas came, the rishis only heard it, and then they wrote the Vedas. So, Brahma, Akshara Samudbhava means that Aksharam Brahman, that, each chapter we will see that one, that Paramatma, his Swasa is where this Vedas originated from. And Vidhi, that Vidhi means to know, you know this by all this cause and effect. I will come to the diagrammatic representation, so you will get to this one. And what it says further, Tasmat, therefore, seeing the four cycle of one from the cause and effect, for the beings, Annam, for Annam, rain. The rain is from the somebody has sankalp that this particular person should start traversing the path, and then for traversing the path, he is doing a proper dutiful action, that is karma, and that dutiful action is as per what is written in the Vedas, number 5, and that Vedas number 5 is as per the pranan or the breath of Paramatma. So keeping all that done in the view, what it says, Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. So by seeing the cause and effect, now it says Sarvagatam Brahma, meaning to say the cause and effect in everything is Brahman. So Annam is Brahman, Parjanyam is Brahman, the Yajna is Brahman, Karma is Brahman, Brahma is Brahman, Aksharam is Brahman. So he is pervaded in all this cause and effect. Really, when you see, he says, look, at the end of the day, this cause and effect, though it looks like a cycle, I have pervaded everything in this one. Nothing is without me, that I have just, it's not that I have just opened the tap and all these things are happening. I am through and through with all of this. There is nothing apart from me in this creation, but I am the originator, I am the promulgator, I am the operator, and I am traveling, and I am the consumer. Sarvagatam Brahma, Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam. And forever, this will always composed and then assimilated in that yajnam only. This yajna is Yajna Ivi Vishnu. It is Yajna. Nityam Yajna Pratishtitam. This kind of a yajna. So let us see that one. I think I have one a particular thing what I wanted to show you. This one. Okay. So in this one is what we want, and that's why Krishna says this Aksharam Parabrahman is there, which is the hub, is like the hub, and all these are just nothing but the spokes of that particular wheel, Chakram. And so the Aksharam Paramatma. So why Krishna wanted to say in all these things is, he wanted to say that from Arjuna's point of view, or a person who has not started the inaction, he wanted to say, look, you are part of the cycle. So mind that one, and it could be that there are two types of action, Sakama Karma, Nishkama Karma, we said. It could be that the Veda has been so beneficial. Look, you will need some requirements for doing the Karma Yoga, For that, if you need to be a consumer, also be a subscriber and a contributor rather. Okay, not only so you also contribute, and it could be with Sakamam as well. And once you have seen those benefits, that's why what he also said in the previous one yesterday in the previous class, he said also give back. Yajna Sishtasana, you may consume, but give back the excess back. Okay, apart from that, and if you're not giving by that and just to be consumer, that's why he said you are a thief. Okay, because what it says is the purpose of this consumption is to come into a Nishkama Karma Yoga, because then everything then he does it by Ishwararpanam. Once he sees this particular cycle, then he would not just only be giving for the sake of, because what happens initially, he offers this so that he can get. Afterwards, he will say, whether I get or not, I'll keep offering whatever I can. Because offering is my duty. Consuming is optional. He comes to that kind of a level. Once he comes to that level, he's a karma yogi. For that, Bhagavan wanted to say this one. And so that is why we also said about last week about the Panchamaha Yajna, just for the thing. But anyway, that we can say after I did like Brahma Yajnam, Deva Yajnam, Pitri Yajnam, all those things. But the main thing is here, the Aksharam Brahma, that starts, and that he gave the Vedas, and from the Vedas, the Karmani, the karma, the laws of action came. Okay, so I have also put these one in the English from the Sanskrit in this sloka, whatever you say. So here Brahma means Vedas in these 14 and 15. The Karmani means the laws of action, and that with the laws of action that is been stipulated for you, we know the principles. Then we do the Prayogam. Yajna means, Prayogam means that you are actually doing the sacrifices with the Sankalpa. And with that, only the rain starts for traversing for the birth of that particular person, and that particular person then becomes as a in the form of a food or annam, fruits of nature, and from that the bhutani, the life from nature, comes forth, and then at the end again it merges through Vedas for Aksharam Paramatma. And the whole thing is for us to understand this cycle and get out of the cycle, but not to come back and keep unsettling in the cycle. And when we will know this little bit more on this is chapter 8 when you come. So this will serve as a good reference at that time as well. So that's what I wanted to see. And that from the Karma Yoga, for a starting point of view, Krishna wanted to say this much, to say that main thing in this one is it Nityam Yajna Pratishtitam. Forever, it is only in this cycle that you shall be aware and see the action, as I said yesterday, when you see that Paramatma in every action we perform and in everything that we consume, that's why we do all this prasadam and everything, then automatically we become qualifier for a karma yogi, as a karma yogi. Okay, so next one, we'll do the Krishna Kumarji, you want to chant after me, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Evam pravartitam chakram.
Evam pravartitam chakram. Evam pravartitam chakram.
Nanuvartayati hayaha.
Nanuvartayati vaha. Nanuvartayati.
Tihayaha.
Tihaya.
Tihayaha. Okay.
Tihayaha.
Tihayaha. Okay. Aghayurindriya ramaha.
Aghayurindriya
Ramaha.
ramaha.
Mogham parthasa jivati.
Mogam partha jivati. Mogam partha jivati.
Okay, so we have finished from the cause and cycle, cause and effect. So what Bhagavan is saying, A Partha, number one, Yaha, who this karma yogi, Yaha, not here, Yaga is, just take it as somebody, okay, Yaha, Iha, in this cycle of nature, what I was described in the aforesaid 14 and 15, Iha, in this cycle of evolution, Evam pravartitam chakram, that which is continuously happening. Every day, 156,000 people are dying, and 300 something is being 260 is being born. Something, the number of birth is more than the death. That much is for sure. Okay, that is what the world cycle somewhere I read. So whatever in this Pravartitam Chakram, this particular cycle of evolution, which we saw that we have seen that one cycle of food chain Chakram. Chakram. Number 7 and 8 is very important. Na anuvartayati. Who does not abide, understand, and be a part of parcel. So here yaga means a person who is not a karma yogi, not even a sakama karma yogi. He just does not even mind about karma. That kind of a person who says, I will consume as much as I can because I am entitled to consume like anything else. Who is there to say what is behind this cause and effect? The cause is, the effect is me, cause is also me. Whatever I got, whatever I eat, it's my earning and I consume, and it is my toil and that I consume. That kind of a person, he says, Bhagavan, na anuvartayati, does not abide by these laws, seeing this whole cycle of evolution, what is happening here. And that person, Krishna says, this is very important. See, he is in the Agayur Indriya Rama means Indriya Ramaha. So take one person called Indriya Raman, Indriya Ramaha. So that word is a compound word, mean Indriya Aramaha. Aramaha. Aramaha means one who is completely submerged into this. That is so devour, devour, like, he's just a consumer of, and why is consuming? Because his indriyam, this panchendriyam, that he wants to smell the good food, he wants to eat the good food, his tongue says, or whatever he wants to consume, this not only food. Okay, this is what is good for my eyes, that's what I will do. This is what is good for my ears, and what I like to hear, I just listen to it, all the 5 senses, So he is completely driven by the senses. That kind of a person, Indriya Aramaha. In fact, in this word only, we have in Tamil normally say for somebody who consumes all the time food without even stopping and whatever gives to him, we call him Chapat Raman. But people never understood, why Chapad means. Chapad means, food. Kana Rama. Kana Rama. So they were understood, say, I also understand why Rama, why bring that Lord Rama here, It is actually Chapat Arama. That R is missed out. And poor Rama, he was all the time in forest. He gave some, somebody gave 1 or 2 fruits after eating, and he ate that one. Poor man, he never ate, even like Krishna went and he didn't eat the nice butter and all. As he was just adolescent, he was sent to forest, and all the time he's been, poor Rama, he never ate anywhere to say that at least Krishna, Chapat Krishna means okay. Chapat Rama is just to say. That means Chapat Arama, in colloquial word became Chapat Rama. That this guy is like, anything. Food means that is he's ready. He leaves everything. So that's what he said, Indriya Ramaha, Indriya Aramaha. Okay. It is Indriya Aramaha. And that person, Bhagavan says, he is a Saha, number 10, Agayuhu. Agayuhu means, that is also 2 words. Aga Ayuhu. Aga means Papam. Ayuhu means his life. His life is only full of sins. If this person is driven only by his sense for consumption, not seeing the evolution of cycle, what I have described here, and that is what is my life goal. And he says, he is a person, his life is a completely, he is doing it with a sinful life. Aga ayuhu, agayuhu, agayuhu. And what he says, Krishna, Mogam Jivati, number 12 and 13. Mogam Jivati. Mogam means waste. His life itself is completely waste. Yes, wasted his complete life. Why Bhagavan says, look at the amount of travel, of journey somebody had to do, his parents for Sankalpa and bring him here. And this person, end of the day, consumes, and never minding about anything. Everything in this world, not causing anything to contributing. His waste life is a complete waste. It's a very big condemnation of a person who is not even treading into the path of karma yoga. So it's a condemnation verse, this 16th one. Mogam parthas jivati. Saha mogam jivati is leading a life of a wasteful life of no purpose. He has wasted his life and wasted everybody else's life as well. So that's what Krishna wanted to say here. And now we will come into the other person. Now, before going into 17, so from this 16th verse, from you want to make a note right from first and from verse number 4, na karmana manaramba, to this particular verse number 16 is all about a karma yogi. You remember we said two buckets. One is the karma yogi and then Sankhya yogi. Sankhyanam, jnana yogi. He said, yes, Sankhyanam. That he will just give you only one particular verse and he would say that, look, he does not need to be a karma yogi. Why? That's all. And that is one that he is going to say here. Where's join? Venkat, can you chant after me? Venkat, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yastvatma ratireva syat. No, not you, Dharmendra ji. This is for Venkat. Okay, I'll mute you. Okay. Okay, ji. Venkat, you can say Yastvatma ratireva syat.
Yasvatma ratireva syat.
Once more, ji.
Yasvatma ratireva syat.
Very good. Atmatruptascha manavaha. Very good. Once more, ji. Atmatruptascha. Very good. Atman yeva cha santushtaha. Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Tasya karyam na vidyate. Tasya karyam na vidyate.
Okay. So where Bhagavan said in the verse number 16 about Indriya Ramaha, here Bhagavan is going to say about Atma Ramaha. Atma Aramaha. Atma Ratihi means also Atma Ramaha. Okay. So, and this Atma Ratihi also, Ramaha is also same. This Atma Raman, or this Atma Rama person, he is a Jnana Nishtha. And he is a one who has already not, see, all the previous ones were Anatma Ramaha. We can also say like that. Indriya Ramaha as Anatma Ramaha. But in the Atma Rama, what he is now is he is gone beyond the sense control, first thing. So that means for going into that Jnana Nishtha, the first thing before taking sannyasa is he must have controlled his senses. Because even if one is there, then it is not going to go in his path of taking the moksha. So for a Sankhya yogi, he has to be a Atma Ramaha first. And that Atma Ratihi is the one, when he is going in this one, so he does not need any progenation, he does not need any possession, he does not need to give a karma yoga. You understand? So because that minimum qualification itself is fixed, that is why sannyasis, they don't need to be a karma yogi. Even the minute they join. That is why you remember when I said somebody says, oh, Vivekananda ji went to US and did all these things, a great karma yogi. No, don't make him, you are making him into a lower, because he's already got the chitta shuddhi. He was doing it for a different one. Okay, so that's why sannyasis should not be called as karma yogi, because they are sankhyas. They are gone into jnana nishtha. So they are one. And so yaha to tu, this number one is tu. Yeah, the yastva matiriva, yaha tu atma ratihi eva. Okay, that is a sandhi, I'm just putting it. This is yaha atma ratihi, yaha tu atma ratihi eva. Okay, so number one is tu, but. So that number one, but is now referring to the other side, who is a Sankhya, that is a Jnana yogi. Tu, yaha, this Atma Jnana Nishtha, yaha, Manavaha. This Manavaha is equal to Sankhya Yoginaha. Atmaratihi eva. That is now fully only contemplating on that Atman. That is his main goal, moksha. That Atma Jnanam, that he is so thirst for getting that Atma Jnanam. He has got nothing else in life, that he knows that I have find no purpose in this external world or anything, and I somehow wants to get that knowledge, which is infinite happiness, where I will be in total bliss. That Atma Ratihi eva cha, number 6, Atma Triptaha. Atma Triptaha. He is ever content by himself. Whatever that has come to his one. With little bit of whatever his Sharira Yatra. Happy with whatever bhiksha that he gets. Just that bare minimum necessities. Atma Triptaha. Cha and Atmani eva. Number 10 and 10. Atmani eva santushtaha. And his happiness is ever in that self knowledge, in that particular dwelling in that self. Inward direction. He is just drawn into that peace and quietude, solitude that it gets on his own contemplation in that jnanam. Atmani eva santushtaha. That is what gives him the ultimate happiness. Anything else does not give him happiness, but just a content for whatever that may be required. Santushtaha. Tasya santushtaha. Number 12. Syat. Syat means if he be there like that. Syat is like a if be he so. So if you really take that syat, tu yaha manavaha atmaratihi eva cha atma triptaha cha atmani eva santushtaha syat. Syat means if he remains like that, for that person, tasya, for that particular jnana yogi, karyam na vidyate. He has got no actions to do. What else to day of even karma yoga? So that is the statement to say that for those particular sannyasis, for them karma yoga, karyam na vidyate. They have got no duties because yava narta udapane. You remember in chapter 2? Yavan artha udapane sarvato samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. There also he said, because he is surrounded by happiness, everything like a one who is surrounded by all water, why would he go to the well? Similarly, this particular person, when he is surrounded by that happiness in that dwelling in his Atma Tripti, that one, why would he ever need any action or any sakama karma or nishkama? Both of them are not stipulated for him. Karyam na vidyate. There are no duties really for him in this worldly transactional world. That's what is number 17 for you. Then number 18. Umaji, would you like to chant after me, please?
Yes, I'll try.
Thank you. Please, you can. Yes, you can do it. Naiva tasya krite nartaha.
Naiva tasya krite nartaha. Naiva tasya krite nartaha.
Very good. Na krite neha kaschana.
Na krite neha kaschanaha. Na krite neha kaschanaha.
Only kaschana because there is no
Kaschana. Okay, sorry.
Yep. Very good. No, that's good. We are doing very good. Nachasya sarva bhuteshu.
Nachasya sarva bhuteshu. Nachasya sarva bhuteshu.
Kaschidartavyaphashrayah.
Kaschidhartavyapashrayah. Kaschidhartavyapashrayah.
Very good. Very good. No, you did it very great. Thank you. Thank you, Ji.
Thank you.
That's the way. Okay. So, again, for this jnana yogi, Krishna wants to say, and for the sannyasina, and tasya, for whom this yoginaha, for him, tasya, Iha. Iha. That number 2 is iha. Na akritena iha. Okay. Iha. Iha. Kritenartha. Krite. Number 1. Kritena. Yaha. Tasya. Iha kritena. Kritena means for an action to be performed, by action, by doing any action, by doing any kritena, tritiya bhakti, by doing any action, kritena, yaha, tasya, yaha kritena, by performing any action, kritena, kaschana artaha, kaschana means anything, artaha, kritena artaha means any purpose, artaha, na, number 6 na, meaning tasya iha kritena kaschana artaha na. Artha means purpose. For him, by doing any actions at all, mean beautiful actions or something, dutiful action, for him there is no purpose. Because he has no purpose in the external world. Purpose na. And akritena, that is very important. Akritena also, that if he doesn't, by he not really doing any duty, akritena, by doing there is no purpose, by leaving it also, akritena na. Meaning to say that if he has not done anything also, there is no loss to others. That's what you should take. By doing normally, see, this is what it is. By doing something action, normally it could be a purpose for you or for others. But normally by you not doing a duty, you feel you don't do it, there could be a loss for somebody else. That's what Krishna wants to say. Akritena na artaha, meaning to say, if he does not do anything, no loss for anybody in this world. Meaning to say, in the Devam Pravartitam Chakram, he has not consumed, he has not caused any harm to that Devas or all the Panchamaha Yajna, nothing. He has not given he has not given anything. He is not going to be just a pure consumer or a contributor. His contribution to himself, meaning to say, your contribution to himself with the Atma Jnanam is the greatest contribution. That is also embedded here. Every other contribution is secondary. Your own contribution to yourself is the greatest one. In fact, Viveka Chudamani, Shankara says, the greatest sin in this world, what he says in that, greatest sin is one who has not even made an effort to know this Atma Jnana. Even though he could be doing so many things, if he has not performed one action to know that self-knowledge, that is the greatest sin, he says, because you wasted one life birth. So this person again, but he is already an Atma Truptaha. So Akritena, Akritena, number 7, Akritena, na, 7, 8, 9. Akritena eva na. Artahana. Akritena eva artahana. Cha. Akritena, number 10. Cha. Sarva Bhuteshu, in all other, in these beings in this world, Sarva Bhuteshu, Asya, Sarva Bhuteshu, Asya, Vyapashraya. Sarva Bhuteshu Artha Vyapashraya. I'll give the meeting. Artha Vyapashraya, Kaschit, na. Meaning to say, cha sarva bhuteshu asya artha vyapashraya kaschit na. Meaning to say, in this one, that is the same thing as what we said before. Meaning to say that this only one word that you should just understand. Artha vyapashraya. Vyapara means that, as such, is a transaction. Meaning to say there is a mutual obligation, and by which a transaction is performed. Right? And because there is somebody who is dependent on him, or he is dependent on somebody else. Interdependency. That interdependency is the Artha Vyapashraya. Artha Vyapashraya, Sarva Bhuteshu, with anything in this world, Sarva Bhuteshu, in anything in this world, Kaschit, even a little bit, Asya na. Nobody is dependent on him, neither he is dependent on others. He is self-dependent. He is independent. So that's what he's saying. because he's a totally a self-dependent person. So that's why for him, Devan Bhavayata Yena, Te Deva Bhavayanta, Parasparam Bhavayantaha, Shaya Paramavapsa is not applicable. For Karma Yogi, it is applicable. Because he himself is like a Deva, even higher celestial. So imagine for this person, then he is given even a higher pedestal than a normal Deva. Because this person has become such an Atma Jnani himself. Okay, so we just do one more sloka and then we will finish. So having said this one for the 2 sloka, then Krishna wants to conclude to Arjuna about this Karma Yoga. Nandini ji, can you please chant after me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Tasmad asaktas satatam.
Tasmad asakta
Satatam. Once more.
Tasmad
asaktas
asakta
satatam.
satatam.
Okay, the easy way I tell you, after tasma, you give a break. Okay, then what you do? Dasaktas satatam. So you say tasma dasaktas satatam. Try it like that.
Tasma dasakta satatam.
You're doing once more.
Tasma
dasaktas satatam.
dasakta satatam.
Very good. Karyam karma samachara.
Karyam karma samachara. Karyam karma samachara.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Very good.
Asakto hyacharan karma.
Paramapnoti purushaha.
Paramapnoti purushaha. Paramapnoti purushaha.
Very good. So Krishna, what he says, Tasmat. So Arjuna, having me explained to you both the sides, because Krishna has completely Dvidida Nishta, that I have explained to you what you should really hear. He says, Asaktaha satatam karyam, asaktaha satatam karyam karma samachara. So he says, asaktaha, being not attached. So tasmat Arjuna, asaktaha means not attached to. Saktaha means attached. So you see, asaktaha means totally attached. See, with that one long thing, that the tasma, if you say tasma dasaktaha, if you put one more line, that means asaktaha means totally attached. Here means asaktaha. Saktaha also means attached. Asakta means totally attached, but asaktaha means completely not attached. So one small vowel makes a big difference. So tasmat asaktaha, without any attachment into that cause and effect or anything like that, which will happen, but you just perform your duties. Satatam, always karyam karma samachara. The duties, the karyam is the yajna here. Because yajna comes from the karma. So karyam karma, the yajna karma samachara. That particular karyam which is to be performed as a yajnartat karma, samachara, you shall perform perfectly. Samachara, samyakachara, execute it with perfection to the extent possible that you know of doing it. And the benefit again is saying here, number 7, he means because asaktaha, because of this totally detachment in these ones with a purpose or anything for selfish purpose, in this asaktaha, karma, parama, karma purushaha, that person, param apnoti, that particular person, param apnoti means to say moksham gacchati, moksham apnoti, that paramatma moksham gacchati by this particular detachment way of doing the action, but just mindful of the duties in the evam pravartitam chakram, and that keep in that mind that nityam yajna pratishtitam, nityam yajnartat karma. With that one alone, in this one, as a karma yogi, you will be getting the asaktaha. asaktaha. Because of this asaktaha, this one, by you executing the karma yogam, param purushaha, that purushaha, param apnoti, that paramatma, jivan mukti apnoti. Okay, with that we will finish for today. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Karma Yogo Nama Tritiyo Dhyayah Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tat Sat.